of this conference, international conference, and stand in front of this esteemed panel and distinguished guests. I come from a very young institution, SDSN Youth, which is one of the assemblies at the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, which in itself is a relatively young institution being part of the UN system. Led by Dr. Jeffrey Sachs, UN SDSN has a leadership committee which has eminent members from across the globe. We have 4 members as of now in the leadership committee from India, and there are several members who are from South Asia, and at SDSN Youth I am the South Asian representative. Being very young, but we have in the recent years we have done an incredible job. We have published reports, we have gathered knowledge, we have aggregated learnings from the business, from the civil society, from the government, and from the UN system by a collaborative process. We have documented and we have shared it across the globe. Some of the reports are very well cited and among the most cited reports on sustainable development. So now, because this session is about goals, indicators, and monitoring, I'll stick to the topic. So while I was coming to this conference yesterday, crazy things happened. I had a goal in my mind. I had set targets. I did the same today again. I had a goal. I had to reach this panel to participate in this session. I had set targets for me, but the indicators were not proper, and I missed on schedule. So apologies, chair, and apologies, panel, and apologies, distinguished guests. So. My task has been made very easy by Dr. Sudarshan and again Sonal, who have very well emphasized on the need for localizing indicators, and then Sonal has very well put, and she has emphasized on the need for indicators and the need for monitoring policies and monitoring schemes. So. I'll stick myself to what SDSN had published in May 2015. This was one of the reports primarily which focused on monitoring and evaluation and for SDGs. So 17 goals. Yes, this is something which translates the concept of sustainable development into tangible entity, but then that is half-baked story. So what do we need to bake this complete cake? So we need indicators, we need targets. Why do we need them? We need them because we need to measure our progress. We need to estimate our accountability. We need to understand how stakeholders are participating and what has to be changed, what has to be improvised upon. And the good thing is that the current framework for monitoring, which has been prescribed by the interagency expert group and high-level panel, it says that there are 4 levels of monitoring and evaluation. So first one happens at the global level, wherein we have the goals, we have the 17 goals, and then the next level is the regional level, and then there's a national level, and there's a thematic level. The good thing is in the prescribed mechanism, which is yet to be endorsed, although the framework has been endorsed, but then the indicators are yet to be endorsed, and this will happen in 2016 this year. International consultancies are being undertaken. So Dr. Sudarshan, I'm sure the point that you have raised, that the indicators for education need to be localized, that will be taken care of by the government and the stakeholders in the country. So now coming back to indicators, so the national level goals, the national level targets, they have to be now these have to be complemented by thematic indicators. These have to be complemented by thematic goals, and these have to be complemented by regional goals. The good part of the prescribed mechanism in the current system is that the national governments, the governments are free to choose set of indicators that are available. They are free to choose national level targets and some national level targets. Although the global targets remain same, but then the nations have that kind of liberty, and I think that calls for that gives liberty for localizing indicators, that allows for localizing the targets. So now this is a very fine time. We have 1.8 billion population, which is the youth, and in the next 15 years, by the time SDGs come to closure, it will be today's youth who will be having the torch in their hands. So it's very important to bring youth on board, and that's why that's what SDSN and SDSN Youth is trying to. We are trying to collaborate with youth institutions and government agencies, civil society, and the business to make an inclusive development and an equitable. We are trying to create that platform that provides equity both to the girl child and to the male child, and provides opportunity. Now coming back to the kind of atmosphere we have in India at present. So Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, says that we need to skill India, we need skill India. From Jawan India ko, now we want to make skilled India. And at the same time, His Excellency Secretary General says that in his synthesis report, he has very well recognized what International Labour Organization has been pitching for quite some time, decent jobs, but how to do that? Does the current education system allow for that? I don't think so. So what can be done? What I would prescribe is that the education system should not intend to feed into the child's mind that education ultimately leads into income generation. It should more be about social good. That is what sustainable development is about. So second, this was the first point, and then the second point, we have been having cultural collaborations and different kind of collaboration between the developed nations and the developing nations. But then now it has to happen between the developing countries, between the landlocked countries, between the middle income countries. Why? I'll cite just one example. India has been recognized as an IT geek for quite some time, and this is very strange that mobile money was introduced only in 2012, and Kenya had mobile money way back, and India is the IT geek. So I think it's really important that that kind of collaboration should happen, and that kind of atmosphere should be created, and education should create that kind of environment. So now coming on to the next point. So we need skill India. What do we need for that? The current education system only transforms the youth. It only transforms the girl child and the boy child into bread earners for the families and not into social entrepreneurs. But to addressing challenges of sustainable development, let me tell you, most of the challenges that are to come, the kind of challenges that are to come in the future, we can't think of them right now. So the kind of the kind of change agents that we need at local levels, we need transformation in our education policy, we need transformation in the kind of education system that we have and the curriculums that we have. So we need to also create an ecosystem, and this has to be a collaborative effort between the government agencies, between the civil society and the business. So this is more about India. Then coming back to the point that Sudarshan ji had raised, that the current mechanism for evaluation of goals and the kind of indicators that have been prescribed only allow for counting on numbers. The good part is that the prescribed mechanism under SDGs, the kind of indicators we have, it also allows for it provisions for identifying both the qualitative aspects and the quantitative aspect. The indicators have not yet been finalized, and this is the good time that stakeholders from the government, from the civil society, from the business should come together. I would urge that the youth institutions and the grassroots institutions should take active, and they should make active participation. They should be proactive, and they should voice for the social good again. Why? Because sitting in Delhi, it's very difficult. Sitting in New York, it's very difficult to understand the kind of challenges that you face at the last mile. So until unless we all of us come together, I think the national level indicators that are yet to be evolved, it's very difficult to bring them on board. The kind of diversity we have in this country, it is also this is an opportunity, but this is also a challenge for development practitioners. This is a challenge for government, and I think that civil society institution can play a big role. Now the idea of indicators, the idea of targets, the idea of overall SDG goals. How many people are aware of SDGs? That's the biggest challenge that SDGs and the UN system or the development agencies or the civil society are facing in today's time. We need high level of awareness generation, but to do all of this, but to achieve the kind of outputs that we want, the kind of evaluation that we want to do, I think there are huge capacity gaps, and those capacity gaps have to be addressed primarily in the African continent, in the middle income countries, in the landlocked countries, in SIDS. There has much to be done. There has to be enough finance has to be raised. To sum up, I'll say that there is a collaborative effort that has to be put in. Without collaborative efforts, it's difficult to expect the kind of outputs and the kind of outcomes we want from the SDG era. Thank you.